Okay, hi, my name is Daphne, and I am doing my presentation on Beauty and Society, which is the name and theme of the playlist I chose to make for this final presentation. I'm going to try and share my screen right now with you guys. Okay, awesome. So yeah, we're going to be talking about beauty and society today and the ways it manifests in American popular music. Okay, so first we have a bit of an overview about the playlist, like a general description of what it is. So this is the Beauty Society playlist. It takes a look at how women contend with societal expectations of beauty, both internal and external. Specifically for this presentation, I chose to center female and genderqueer artists. There are no men on the list. And it's a shorter playlist. There's only 5 songs. I expect that if it was a longer playlist, then there would definitely be perspectives on beauty and society from the male gaze and male perspective as well, not just like how men deal with beauty and society and their roles, but also how they perceive women. But for this one, I just chose to give it to the girls. And the songs I've chosen are as follows. So we have Pretty Isn't Pretty by Olivia Rodrigo, which is off of Guts. Her most recent album came out last year. We also have Homecoming Queen question mark by Kelsea Ballerini, who's a very famous country pop contemporary artist. We have Young and Beautiful by Lana Del Rey. This is off the Great Gatsby soundtrack. It's a ballad. We have Unpretty by TLC, just a classic 90s girl group. And then finally, Built a Bitch by Bella Poarch, which is like a really playful, like alt pop song. And so as you can see, I have on this side the names again a little bit clearer and bigger, as well as the genres and the year that they came out. So this playlist spans like roughly 20 years, 2 decades, and explores different topics within beauty and society. Um, a bit of a disclaimer, I had it originally so that the songs were hyperlinked and I could play a little bit of them for you, but unfortunately I've recorded this a few times already and that just does not work with the Zoom. So I definitely encourage you to like listen to it as or after I talk about the song, especially if it seems interesting to you. But like this one, I says this first one, Pretty Isn't Pretty, which is a song that perfectly captures the vicious cycle of beauty. It's never satisfying. And I knew I had to include this song because every single lyric is gold in the context of the theme. Rodrigo is obviously and very clearly very tired with the cycle and expresses her frustrations and her desire to fit into beauty standards to the point where it affects like every part of her life. And yeah, it's basically just talking about this cycle. Pretty isn't pretty enough. So this is one of the lyrics. When pretty isn't pretty enough, what do you do? And everybody's keeping it up, so you think it's you. And Olivia Rodrigo, as you guys know, like she is a very uh the perfect mix between sad girl and angry girl. Her music always kind of talks about things like beauty expectations, um, the idea of the American girl and the American teenager, romantic relationships. So I think she was the perfect person to have in this playlist, and this song really is a great starter and transition into the next song, which is Homecoming Queen. So this one I really liked because it's the only song in the playlist that talks about a specific archetype or like stereotypical person, which is the homecoming queen, that trope. And it talks a lot about the homecoming queen idea, perfect hair, perfect body, perfect grades, perfect crown, perfect dress, all of these things. And in reality, as we know, that is not the case. No one is perfect, even the homecoming queen. I like this song because Kelsea Ballerini, as she's narrating, is talking directly to the homecoming queen. She asks her questions, as implied by the actual question in the title. Um, and yeah, this is one of the lyrics, not everything pretty sparkles and shines, and even the homecoming queen cries. And I think that this is, especially near the end when Kelsea starts to encourage the homecoming queen in question, the metaphorical homecoming queen, to um, let people see her insides, like all the things that she keeps hidden because she doesn't think that they're beautiful. And she'll realize that she's not alone. So I think this is a beautiful message for everyone, especially teen girls. The world is rife with stereotypes and cliques at that age. I know I remember it. So songs like this help listeners realize that they're not alone, and they also don't have to pretend to be all right just to appease society. And a little fun fact, Kelsey Ballerini was never anywhere close to being homecoming queen. So she's not speaking from personal experience, but rather speaking outwards to other girls, which is really sweet. Okay. Next we have Young and Beautiful by Lana Del Rey, and this is from the Great Gatsby film, as I said. It's a really haunting and somber ballad, and I think at its core, it tackles the fear of aging. Um, this is a very common saying, but youth is beauty, and all of the riches, the fame, the luxuries, the youth that the narrator enjoys now will eventually be gone. And if that's what defines beauty, we left to her. I think the song is so old Hollywood. It's so reflective of the expiration date that beauty has. Um, I'm sure many of you have heard it as well because it kind of just had a comeback in recent years. But this is from the chorus. Will you still love me when I'm no longer young and beautiful? Will you still love me when I got nothing but my aching soul? So yeah, I think that this was an important one to include, not just because it's so different from the other songs musically, being like a ballad and like very slow, very retro, which Lana was a perfect person for this because she always has retro accentuations in her music. But also because like the idea of beauty only being a thing that you can possess when you're young is such a thing that so many women um freaked out about and are really nervous about, especially in the context of will they be loved? Can someone love someone who isn't quote unquote beautiful, which women are always beautiful in my personal opinion. Okay. Next we have Unpretty by TLC. So in Unpretty, it also kind of references and talks about a relationship. The man in question has tarnished the narrator's self-image and caused them to feel insecure about the way that they look, hence the term unpretty, because they were pretty before and now they feel unpretty because of this man. This song reminds me a lot of SZA's Normal Girl and Special from her respective albums Control and SOS. There's a bigger context of Black women dealing with attacks on their femininity and having to adhere to society that favors Eurocentric beauty standards. I mean, that's like it's historical, it's a thing. And I think in a lot of ways, SZA pays homage to artists like TLC and creates a space for Black women to unpack their trauma caused not just by Black men, but also by those outside of their race. And over again, members of TLC will say, I'll make you feel unpretty too, talking directly to the man. And this is only a taste of the rebellion and resistance against beauty standards that are fully exemplified in the playlist's final song. But yeah, I feel like it just gives like a really good overview of like how someone can peel away layers of your beauty just by like being verbally abusive or insulting, whatever it is. And this is one of the lyrics in the song. Never been insecure until I met you. Now I'm being stupid. I used to be so cute to me. And then I love the difference in images between Unpretty and Build-A-Bitch. This is the final song. Build-A-Bitch by Paula Porch is a fun, playful pop song with hints of Melanie Martinez sprinkled throughout there. I think there's definitely some influence from her there. I chose to put this song last because it is a strong, defiant pushback against these beauty standards. All the other songs, even Unpretty, kind of stay in that mellow realm, but this one does not, and it is like very clearly basically saying F you. The lyricism and the dark eerie music video, this is a screen capture from the music video, are exactly the opposite of the quiet image that Bella has built up in her career, which I'll touch on a little bit later. And I think it's her way of saying screw you to everyone who expected her to be and look one way or the other. She is who she is. In the words of Bella Porch, this ain't Build-A-Bitch. So this is one of the lyrics. You don't get to pick and choose different ass and bigger boobs. There's a lot of rhyming in here. It's like very much so like a nursery rhyme. There's like la 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 la's at the end of every chorus that are like very playful and silly. But I think that the song actually does touch on some really important things. For example, Bella Porch, I briefly mentioned this, but she got her start on TikTok as a content creator. And was controversial and scrutinized for being really cutesy, doing things like ego and um like just acting in a way that some might view as really childlike. Um, or sexualized, fetishized. And she actually responded back to this. I don't have the direct tweet, so I'm paraphrasing here, but basically she said that as someone who grew up in the Philippines, a place where kawaii culture is very loved and respected, and it's just intrinsic to who she is as a person. It's not weird to her, and she feels like she should just be able to be who she is. And I think that's so true and so real. And yeah, just in general, like if you haven't heard the song, you should really listen to the song because it's a banger. And I think it's just like the perfect like girl rage combination to the collection of songs we have here. Okay, so this is the last slide, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about how all the songs connect. Despite their differences in messaging and emotional space, the core of what connects the songs in this playlist is the explicit detailing of the artist's relationship with beauty standards, whether the artist is talking to their partner, their friend and classmate, or themselves. Some of these women overcome their insecurities, others don't, but the context and root of the issue remains across all mediums. There's too much pressure put on women to look, feel, and act perfect. And so yeah, you see that in a lot of different ways. You see that in Unpretty with the toxic relationship. You see that in Young and Beautiful with the age and the idea of youth meaning beauty. You see that in Pretty Isn't Pretty with the cycle and all of the other songs. There is just like this core of talking about beauty standards and expectations and for women and how they contend with that in society. So that's my theme. I think this would have been like a great theme. I hope in future iterations of this class it gets added to the modules because I think that people would have a lot to say about it. And there's so much more content on here. This isn't even like this is touching the surface of the amount of songs out there about beauty in society. And I had a lot of fun making it. So thank you for listening, and I hope you guys have a great summer.